again, my name is Gabe Zollner. This video marks my 1000th video that I've made. Yeah, and I think it's appropriate to talk about what I'm about to talk about. And if you go to Canada Free Press, they have a very interesting article, and it's titled, UN Launches Investigation into Syrian Chemical Weapons Allegations. Now, what's really interesting here is that the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, he announced yesterday at a hastily arranged press briefing that he decided to launch an independent investigation of allegations of possible use of chemical weapons in Syria. Now, he did this after receiving a formal request for such an investigation from the Syrian government. Now, do you think that the Syrian government would request that the United Nations do a full investigation if they're the ones that launched any kind of chemical weapons, chlorine or otherwise? Well, the answer to that question is, in all probability, no. And you know, it's amazing how Obama is so eager to condemn the al-Assad regime from having done that. He's looking for any excuse that he can get to go whack al-Assad so he can expedite the takeover of Syria and have the Muslim Brotherhood implement Sharia Law. What's interesting is that there were other attacks as well, and they don't know if those were chemically associated or not, but they're going to investigate that. The problem is that the Assad regime can only guarantee safety to the UN inspectors in areas that they control. And the areas that they don't control, well, they can't even guarantee any kind of UN effort to provide food or medicine or any other support in those areas because they're controlled by the bad guys. And who are the bad guys? Well, the bad guys are al-Qaeda. The bad guys are not ex-convicts. These are actual convicts that were released from prisons throughout a number of countries to fight against Assad and his forces. So I really believe this was an excellent move on the Assad administration's side, and I'm hoping that it proves what I suspect that it will prove, which is that the chemicals that were released were done by you-know-who. And I think what they need to look at is to look at the bodies and determine as to what religion or what faith those bodies followed. And I think you'll find that they were cryptic Christians and or they were Shiites. They weren't Sunnis. Because it's the Sunnis that are doing it. Yeah. And apparently there was another attack in Damascus where 40 people were killed, including a senior Muslim cleric. And dozens were injured. It's really insane that the President of the United States is supporting and providing aid in the form of money, and I personally believe weapons. Well, who was it? The Secretary of State said, we're training the rebels. Yeah. And then you've got that Major General, you know, the one that resigned or retired in '91. He's convinced that it was Assad and his forces. Oh, he's convinced. And he visited there on a couple of occasions. You know what will be interesting to find out is who paid for his trips. You want to bet that he went as a guest of Obama on one of the military transports? Yeah. It's a complete joke. And you know what? Congress can't be that stupid that they don't see that this is a complete joke. They cannot be that stupid. Now, some of the senators can be. There's no doubt that a number of the senators are idiots. But you can't have over 500 of them being idiots. They need to unite. They need to demand that Obama release his records. And if they do that, we're going to learn that he's not eligible. We're going to learn that he applied under an Indonesia passport. We're going to learn he got in under affirmative action. We're going to learn that he's not an American citizen. That's what we're going to learn. But that's only if Congress grows some gotatos, you know what I mean? and does something about it. I can't imagine that they're not going to. And they need to do it soon. As every day goes by, Obama gets more power. Every single day, Obama gets more power. I just read another little thing on Western Center for Journalism, and Janet Neapolitano, she's decided to relax the immigration visitation requirements for folks from Saudi Arabia. You know, I think that's where those guys came on 9/11. You know what I mean? Yeah, but she's decided to relax. She met with the Saudis and decided to, you know, relax the restrictions. Isn't that nice? Yeah, she's such a wonderful person, isn't she? She'll go down in history as well. You know, like Eliza Koch. You know who Eliza Koch was? Well, it's amazing how that name just popped into my head. Eliza Koch worked in a extermination camp, and she used to make lampshades out of Jews, their skins. Yeah. And Janet Neapolitano is going to go down in a similar kind of way, where people are going to remember the horror that she inflicted on what was left of this country, with her 1.6 billion rounds, plus her 21 million rounds, plus her 7,000 fully automatic weapons, plus her 2,700 light armored vehicles. What are they all for, Janet? Huh? You going to have a party or what? Anyway, I sort of diverted. This was initially about Syria, and I congratulate the Syrian government, the one that's in power, for having asked the United Nations to do a full and complete investigation. And I'm hoping that General Ban Ki-moon does that relatively soon and presents his findings to the American people. Bozo, you just can't seem to get it right, you know what I mean? You got shot down on your gun ban thing, and now you're going to get shot down on being able to go whack al-Assad. Huh? You're going to have to wait on that one for a while, aren't you? You're not happy. I can tell you're not happy, are you? You need to be held accountable for your crimes. And hopefully, one day soon you will be.